from Florida A&M University on the highest of 7 hills in the capital city, covering every corner of the Big Bend. This is the award-winning FAMU TV 20 News.
Good afternoon and happy Monday. I'm Cameron Marshall.
And I'm Michael Moore, and welcome to News 20 at 5. Panama City Police Department is investigating the death of a man who reportedly attempted to parachute from a hotel balcony. The man is believed to be in his 20s. Police officers quickly responded to an emergency call at the Sunrise Beach Resort. Arriving at the scene, they found out the man had jumped from the 14th floor and his parachute appeared to have not opened. The man was pronounced dead at the scene. There is no word on identity of the victim or whether he is a local resident or an out-of-town visitor. And even during a pandemic, Miami Beach continues to deal with massive, maskless crowds on its popular Collins Avenue. Many of the partygoers are said to be older adults and not college students. Sunday night, Miami Beach began enforcing a curfew starting at 8 p.m. as a way to reduce large crowds, but still had a very hard time getting individuals off the beach. More than 50 arrests were made throughout the weekend, and most of them were individuals from out of state. The emergency order will continue through next Sunday, March 28th, as the city continues to deal with spring break crowds. City Manager Raul Aguila will have the option to extend the curfew through April 13th if needed.
Tallahassee students prepare as Florida State University announces it will host a homecoming celebration this spring. Multimedia journalist Skylar Boone joins us in the studio with updates on the homecoming event.
Students are excited about FSU's Linked by Legacy homecoming festivities. In a press release on the university's website, Homecoming Week will be from April 5th through the 11th. Events will include activities such as TED Talks, parades, and a spring football game. The Homecoming Committee voted unanimously to change the name of the pep rally to Homecoming Live. Formerly known as the Powwow, signifies the celebration of Indigenous people. That's all I have for you today. I'm Skylar Boone. Back to you all at the desk.
Puberty, a topic that can be hard to talk about. Our reporter Cameron Marshall tells us how women and girls are trying to make the transition to womanhood a little easier with new legislation.
Feminine products are a necessity for women at some point in their life. The Florida Senate reports women typically spend around $150 to $300 annually on menstrual products. One bill hoping to make its way on the agenda in this legislative session will ensure free feminine products in all Florida public schools. Ashley Eubanks is one of the leading ladies behind the Learning with Dignity bill. States such as Alabama and Texas presented a bill similar to this one.
It's becoming a true trend. And it's becoming a lot of awareness that these things are not accessible to those who need them.
The beauty initiative started with Eubanks helping women transition from homelessness to the workforce. The nonprofit has provided close to 1 million hygiene products in 5 years to women and girls in need. Amaya Wayman is one high school student right here in Tallahassee doing her part with the Girl Flow project.
If this bill was pushed and it came across all boards, there would be no reason for people to try to find funding.
According to the Beauty Initiative, if a female student misses school every time she has her period, she will be 145 days behind her fellow male students. It could take up to 3 to 5 years for the bill to be approved, but Eubanks remains hopeful.
I'm not stopping until it's passed, because it's not just for that one student, but every student I've come in contact with.
The Florida legislation session for this year started in March. The bill was introduced to the Senate at the beginning of the month. We'll have to wait and see if this bill makes it to the legislative agenda. But if it does, it can go into effect as early as July 1st. For FAMU TV 20, I'm Cameron Marshall.
For more information on how to donate and help get the bill passed this legislative session, visit beautyinitiative.org. And Florida A&M delivered a great surprise in many students' accounts Friday evening. The university began depositing monetary emergency relief checks. Some students took to Twitter to express their gratitude and thankfulness for the disbursement, while others who didn't receive a check for qualification reasons expressed their concerns. Last month, many students were also given a second check under the CARES Act relief. The university has not released a statement on why students received the extra funds.
Well, don't touch that remote. Coming up next, we'll have more news updates. You're watching News 20 at 5.
These are extraordinary times. Florida A&M University, our state, our nation, our world. We're all faced with challenges we've never faced before. But one thing we know for sure.
When the dark clouds get on the horizon, when thunder and lightning fill the sky.
We are Rattlers, and we are everywhere, overcoming challenges and rising to every occasion. The orange and the green, we shall ever defend. Together, we will get through this. Our campus may be quiet, but we lift our voice in praise to ask a blessing all divine. And while gatherings are temporarily on hold, our collective pride continues to resonate, waiting to, once again, celebrate major accomplishments and achievements, even in our new normal. Because at the end of the day, we are always Rattlers.
The Rattlers will strike and strike and strike again.
The Derek Chauvin trial continues for a second week after a judge denies requests to postpone the trial and relocate it. We have multimedia journalist Tanisha Ferrone here with the story. Tanisha?
The court is still searching for 2 more jurors before opening statements start. The defense says it is worried the public announcement of the settlement could create a bias among jurors. About 12 jurors are intended to deliberate, and 3 of those will serve as alternatives. Floyd died in police custody in May 2020 while the arrest was recorded and shared on social media. The incident triggered protests of social injustice worldwide. Live in the Multimedia Newsroom, I'm Tanisha Ferrone. Back to you guys at the desk.
Stay tuned. You're watching News 20 at 5.
Getting into your local weather. Current conditions is 71 degrees with humidity of 53%. It does look a little gray outside. However, there is no rain, so it's still pretty good looking out there. It is going to drop into 62 degrees tonight, so it is recommended for you to bring a light jacket if needed. Your sunset at 7:50 p.m. Area temperatures looks like all across the board is going to be an average high of the 70s, Albany with a high of 76, and there's an average low in the 50s, Mariana with a low of 56. Your 5-day forecast looks like it's going to be cloudy all throughout the week. Wednesday, a high of 79, low of 58. Friday, you are going to see some scattered thunderstorms with a high of 81, low of 66. That is all the weather I have for you. Back to you guys at the desk.
Coming up in sports, FAMU baseball split their 4-game series, and Florida State men's basketball team looks to get further in the March Madness tournament. We'll have that and more next in sports. You're watching News 20 at 5.
Welcome back. I'm Marissa Stubbs here with your sports news. Let's jump right into it. Florida A&M's baseball team split their 4-game weekend series against Florida Gulf Coast University. The Rattlers took a 2-game lead in the series before losing Game 2 of the doubleheader on Saturday evening. The 2 teams faced off for the last game in the series Sunday afternoon. The Eagles took a 2-0 lead in the game at the bottom of the 2nd inning. The Rattlers tied the game at 2 apiece in the 5th inning with an RBI scored by Andrew Bork. Both teams went scoreless in the next 3 innings, and the Eagles scored at the top of the 9th inning, winning the game 3-2. The Rattlers will look to face North Carolina State University in a 4-game series this weekend. In FAMU football news, Coach Willie Simmons and the Rattlers hosted their pro day Sunday afternoon. NFL scouts included the Dallas Cowboys, Denver Broncos, Las Vegas Raiders, and many more. Calvin Ashley, the massive offensive tackle who transferred from Auburn in 2019, was among top prospects. The NFL draft begins April 29th, and Coach Simmons hopes to see some of his players further their football career at the next level. In basketball news, the Florida State Seminoles took down University of North Carolina Greensboro in the first round of the NCAA's March Madness tournament. The offensive woes continue for the team, but their performance on the defensive end of the court made up for them. The Noles held the Spartans to just 19 of 60 from the floor, including 7 of 27 on 3-point attempts. Though the team didn't make any threes of their own, their effort on defense is what kept them in the game and solidified the win by the score of 65-54.
Well, that's going to do it for us tonight. And our reporters Tanisha, Skylar, and Marissa, I'm Cameron Marshall.